Welcome back to Inside City Hall. We are continuing our focus on the future of the city's troubled public housing system. Catherine Garcia, who is taking a leave of absence as our sanitation commissioner, recently began her new role as the interim chair of NYCHA. This comes as the city continues to work with federal prosecutors and the Department of Housing and Urban Development to choose a permanent chair as part of the historic deal that was struck between City Hall and the federal government. Catherine Garcia joins me now to talk about her new position and much more. Thanks for being here. Very good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
I want to ask you, are you involved in any way in dealing with tomorrow's snowstorm?
I am not on snow duty tomorrow, except as it pertains to the sidewalks around NYCHA.
Have they called you for any advice? Who is going to be running the response, actually? I guess.
So the first deputy commissioner, Stephen Costas, is now the acting commissioner at DSNY.
Okay. I assume you've trained him well, so we're not going to be paralyzed tomorrow?
You are in good hands.
Okay. Good to know that. Let me ask you about what we reported on today. Lynn Patton, the regional administrator of HUD, spending a night, a week in one development, a week in the next development, and so forth, specifically to draw attention to the conditions in public housing. Is that helpful as far as you're concerned? Is it a distraction? Will it help mobilize support for the things you're trying to do?
So, I think that anything that brings attention to the fact that we need an enormous amount of investment within the New York Housing Authority is helpful, particularly if she is making the case at the federal level, not only for our housing authority, but across the country. All of the housing authorities across the country have been systematically de-invested in.
Your predecessor, Stan Brezhnev, who created the vacancy that you're now filling on an interim basis, he said about the deal, I think that it is not a good agreement for NYCHA and for the city. The city and NYCHA have all the responsibility, limited authority, and all of the financial burden. That, in a nutshell, is why I'm against it. Is he wrong?
Well, I really think I have an enormous amount of respect for Stan Brezhnev. He's like the dean of city government. Probably saved us during the fiscal crisis. But I'm really focused much more on the going forward portion of this, not trying to rehash what the deal was or wasn't. I think that there was a real possibility of federal takeover. And just inherently, I think if the federal government had taken over, that's less accountability to the residents of all of the developments in the city of New York.
Well, but the outcome that we've got is you have people in the form of Lynn Patton, but really in general, the federal government saying, NYCHA, thou shalt, fix this, fix that, fix this, fix that. But we know that it will take tens of billions of dollars. And if they're not going to write you a check for that amount, how much are they doing by pointing out problems that internally you're probably well aware of?
Well, I think that we are locating some of the money that we are going to need through the conversion of some of the public housing to Section 8, through the RAD program, and through some of the other programs that will keep them affordable, keep them in city control, but also infuse them with capital.
When I looked through the terms of the agreement, the federal monitor should be getting appointed pretty soon. By what date do you think we'll know who the federal monitor will be?
I don't know. I actually thought they were going to get appointed the week after the agreement got signed. So that's not really what I'm in the driver's seat on, because it's being determined by the U.S. Attorney and HUD about who the monitor will be, when they will start. We certainly want to see them get on board so we can start a lot of the processes that are called for and the clocks that start when they get appointed. Right.
Well, and speaking of the clocks, I wanted to go through some of these deadlines. They seemed so aggressive. I wondered if they were, frankly, made in good faith or with eyes wide open. By 30 days after the effective date, meaning the date that it was signed, January 31st, a list of candidates for the position of chair and CEO shall be jointly developed by the city, HUD, and the Southern District. Every candidate on the list shall be jointly agreed to by the city and HUD and the Southern District. Are you part of those discussions?
I am not, but I know that they are ongoing and have actually, I think, what has been told to me is that they have been very fruitful. And I think all of the folks who are in the room want a strong chair going forward across whether or not you're the U.S. Attorney's Office or HUD or the City of New York.
Well, how would you as the chair not be part of those discussions?
Well, I don't have to hire the next chair. I just have to.
Right, but they should let you know who it's going to be, right? Who you're going to hand the files over to.
I don't know if they're going to tell you. Are they going to tell you who's the next Errol Lewis when you're going?
Well, that's never going to happen.
Okay.
I'll be here till death do us part. I'm not interim anything. But no, in all seriousness, I mean, if you're running the authority and they're saying the city's going to do this, is the decision going to be made at City Hall?
On terms of who the next chair is, it's
Yeah.
absolutely in the mayor's hands. I mean, the mayor will
And
be
it
the
sounds
one
like
who
he
makes
has not
the decision.
consulted you about who that might or
Not
should
at this
be.
point, no.
Okay. Within 30 days of execution of this agreement, NYCHA shall comply with, well, perform at least one visual assessment of each lead paint unit on the immediate action list. You have dealt with a lot of these issues with dealing with lead remediation. It struck me as overly ambitious. I mean, to within 30 days get through what looked like about 3,000 units.
Right, no, it's actually, I think it was a little bit more than that when the 30-day clock started. So we are down to, I think we'll be around 1,000 units, and we need to be hitting more than 100 a day.
Wow.
In order to make those numbers.
Is that happening?
That is happening, and so we have been on track so far.
Okay.
We will need every single day to get it done, but we intend to hit that mark.
And so on any given day, like today, tomorrow, the next day, 100 units, you get the visual inspection and
The
then
visuals are complete.
Oh, the visuals are complete.
The
Okay, so
visuals
then-
are, this
so
is
then-
just the remediation.
And what gets done? What counts as remediation?
So you have to encapsulate the peeling paint and repair it. So,
And in household terms, I've read that amounts to like slapping some paint on it, make sure it's not sort of crumbling.
You have to
Is
do
it-
a little bit more
It's a
than
little
that.
simple. Yeah. Okay. So.
right, and you also must comply with protocols whenever you're dealing with lead-based paint in terms of sealing the area with plastic, making sure that everything is cleaned up afterwards so that there's no dust left. But you need to make sure that that wall is stable going forward.
And you're going to get the last 1,000 done in the next few days.
Yeah, that is the goal and that is the plan.
Okay. Starting with the heating season beginning in October, so that's later in this year. But they're talking about restoring heats to units affected by a heating shortage within an average of 12 hours. That sounds to me like a rather dramatic upgrade from where things are now.
It's actually, we are below that at this point in time. This heating season, we have been much more aggressive, both in terms of putting teams across the city, as well as using private vendors to support our boilers. And so we have seen all of our outages below that 12-hour mark this heating season.
And related, and this is, I guess, in effect now, beginning on the effective date, so that's now, within 2 hours of NYCHA learning of any unplanned heating outage, NYCHA shall inform all affected tenants by robocall and post notice of the outage on NYCHA's website.
Yes, that is occurring. So if you went on to NYCHA's website right now, you would see several heat or hot water outages, and that the TA president has been notified, and that we have posted the building and done the calls.
And those, right, I was going to say, those same robocalls, those are going out to all tenants in all of their relevant languages and that sort of thing?
Right, well, we have the ability for you to push to go to whatever language you need on those calls.
Okay, very good. So you sound confident that these, and I just grabbed some of the most immediate ones, are going to be met. The hiring of a new CEO, the appointment of a new chair, the creation of the further action plan and a chief compliance officer and so forth. Is the morale in the agency good these days? Do you think that all of those things are going to happen as contemplated by the agreement?
So, I mean, no, I think that the morale has really suffered. If you are someone who works at the Housing Authority, you've seen many articles and stories on TV about how really awful things are. And so, you know, I've been out there talking both to employees and residents. One, I need to know what's really happening, and two, I need to know that you're on the team and you're letting me know what you need to be successful. Because it's not that I think they're not trying, it's just it's an enormous amount of work. But the thing that I also think I'm focused on is making sure that we have the capital in place and the processes in place, because there's to do these boiler plants that we are going to be required to do, or the elevators, these are all really difficult jobs. So we need to make sure we have the processes in place to get them done effectively.
Okay, I'll leave it there for now, and we will continue to watch. Thanks so much for coming by tonight.
Thank you for having me.